You know, there's one fear that pretty much connects every single one of us, and that's the fear of the dark. Today, we are going to break down Lights Out, a film that grabbed that universal fear and just twisted it into an absolute masterpiece of modern horror. So let's get right into it.
I mean, it really all starts with a feeling you know deep down, right? It's in our bones, that primal, almost instinctual fear of what's in the darkness. It's that nagging feeling of what could be lurking just outside of what you can see. And that is the exact fear Lights Out plugs into with, honestly, terrifying precision. So the movie takes this fear we all have and flips it with one simple, absolutely chilling question. What if the dark wasn't just empty? What if something was actually in it? And the only thing keeping you safe was a little light switch.
All right, so to really get what makes this film tick, we're going to look at a few things. First, how it perfects that primal fear. Then, its wild journey from a viral short to a big movie. We'll get into the actual craft of terror, the monster's deeper meaning, and then, of course, the final verdict.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, a primal fear perfected. And honestly, it all boils down to a premise that is just terrifyingly simple. So, the entire horror of this movie, the whole thing, is built on one brutally simple rule. The creature, her name's Diana, can only exist in total darkness. That's it. Seriously. There's no complex backstory you need to learn, no weird loopholes, just one single rule that basically hacks right into our most basic survival instincts.
And this creates this beautifully simple equation for survival. Lights on, you're safe. Light becomes everything. It's your shield, it's your weapon, it's your safe space. Again, no complicated rules to remember, just that one powerful, absolutely terrifying idea.
But the second a light bulb flickers out, she's there. All of a sudden, the dark isn't just empty space anymore. It's a presence. It's her. And that simple rule, man, it turns every single shadow, every unlit corner of a room into a source of just pure dread.
So you might be wondering, how does a brilliantly simple idea like this become a huge Hollywood blockbuster? Well, that brings us right into Section 2, from viral short to feature. This is the story behind the story. I mean, the way this movie happened was just meteoric. Think about it. In 2013, the director, David F. Sandberg, posted this tiny little 2.5-minute short film online. Just 1 year later, Hollywood is knocking on his door. And by 2016, it's a massive global box office hit. What an incredible journey, right?
And you want to know why Hollywood noticed so fast? Check out this number. The original short film got over 150 million views. This wasn't just some video people passed around. It was a full-blown viral phenomenon. It proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that this concept had a massive, hungry audience just waiting for more.
Which brings us right to our third section, the craft of terror. We're going to look at how the director, Sandberg, actually translated that simple, viral idea into a masterclass in modern horror.
Okay, so Sandberg's whole technique here really comes down to three key things. First, he totally weaponizes silence, making the quietest moments the ones that make your skin crawl. Second, he masters the reveal. He only gives you little glimpses of the creature, so your own imagination does the heavy lifting and fills in the terrifying blanks. And third, he's always subverting your expectations, which makes the scares feel really earned, not cheap.
Yeah, he's not just throwing jump scares at you. One critic put it perfectly, I think. They said Sandberg conducts an orchestra of suspense with light as his baton. And that's exactly it. The back and forth between light and shadow, that's his instrument.
But here's the thing, the genius of this film doesn't just stop with the scares. And that brings us to this deeper layer, something we're calling a monster called depression. This is where Lights Out really shows its hand and proves it's about so much more than just a creature in the dark. This is really where the film just elevates itself into something special. See, on the surface, sure, it's about a supernatural thing haunting a family. But if you look deeper, the monster, Diana, is this incredibly powerful metaphor for clinical depression. Think about it, a consuming darkness that latches onto one person and just poisons the lives of everyone connected to them. And the evidence for this is just woven all through the film. For one, Diana is completely tied to the mother's mental health, which points straight to hereditary trauma. Then there's the way the family just refuses to talk about her. That's a perfect mirror of the stigma that surrounds mental illness. And at its core, the fear of this unseen threat, That's central to both the monster and the very private battles so many people fight with depression.
All right, so after all that, what's the final verdict? Honestly, it's super simple. Lights Out is an absolute must-watch. Let me tell you exactly why.
Look, it really all boils down to these three things. Lights Out just works. It's got that terrifyingly simple concept that gets under your skin. The direction is masterful, building real suspense instead of relying on cheap scares. And most importantly, it has this surprising emotional depth that really sticks with you. It's horror with a heart and, well, a monster hiding in the shadows.
And all of that leaves me with just one final thought for you. So, tonight, when you go to flick that light switch off, are you absolutely sure you're going to be alone?